What's up, Indy friends? Today I wanted to talk about this Coyles or Todds Costumes Raiders of the Lost Ark jacket and give a review on it and what I think about it. I've had this jacket for maybe around 2 months or so now. I've got a lot to say about it, so let's get into it. So there's the tag Coyles. Shit, man. And also real quick, in my last video going over my hats, Michael Whiff asked me a couple questions. One, where's my beard? So I took that off because I kind of wanted to, and now I'm keeping it off for a while as a motivation to continue working out and losing weight. So the other questions, if you want to send me a PM on Instagram, that would be great. Be ventured in. We could talk about it. So anyways, with the Todds Costumes or Coyles jacket, when I did my first Indy cosplay 15 years ago when I was 15 years old, my first jacket that I had for that cosplay was a Todds jacket. And 15 years ago, that leather on that jacket, it was a very soft lambskin, but it was very smooth. It had a very smooth texture. And one thing with the Raiders jacket that many fans look for or talk about is the texture of it, and a lot of that being a ribby texture. So one thing I will say right off the bat with this jacket is the texture is great, but it doesn't really have any ribbiness. So the ribbiness would be these striations that you see, almost kind of sticks out, so you could see it very well. Some shots in Raiders. So actually, right here on the arm, that could be like some ribbiness right there. A lot of the times on the main Raiders jacket, you'll see ribbiness right streaking across right here, and this jacket doesn't have that, but it has some very great texture. But just the leather has a very nice grain and just a lot of striations to it, especially on the back yoke and on the sleeves and up here. So enough of that, let's put it on. Oh, there we go. So I've had this jacket for probably about 2 months now, and I gotta say, I think this is probably my favorite jacket that I've ever owned. I had that Todds Costumes 15 years ago, and back then I loved that jacket. Like I said, it had the very, very smooth leather with like no texture, but it was just super soft, pliable, nice leather. And that one had gotten stolen at some point. As I got older, I kind of fell out of Indiana Jones for a while, but I still wore that jacket all the time because this jacket goes very well with just casual dress. Any jacket I've worn since then, as far as leather jackets go, I always compare like the quality of leather jackets to that original jacket that I had. I had the leather cult jacket, which if you go back on my Indy videos on my channel and see me in a jacket, that is the leather cult jacket. Since that leather cult jacket, I had gotten a Wested Temple of Doom jacket, which I would like to do a review on as well. And then I fairly recently got this as my Raiders jacket. I really like the fit of this, so I probably would have normally ordered a medium. As I said, I got some dad weight going on. And prior to that dad weight, this is a small. Prior to that dad weight, everything I owned or got before was always size small. And then I switched to mediums, but Todds Costumes did not have any mediums available. So I went with the small, and I think it'll be perfect once I cut down some of that weight, which lost a few pounds now, but we're getting there. And I think the cut and fit will be really, really nice once I get my act together. Of course, I got the gloves in there. Gotta have the gloves with your Raiders jacket. The coloration, I think, is just great. It's fantastic. I really love the undertones on this jacket. I hope you could see those undertones on the video. Just this nice brown undertones. I did not go crazy with the weathering on this. The Temple of Doom jacket is very weathered, and you can see that. The Last Crusade jacket is super weathered, and you can see that wear on it. But the Raiders jacket, it is weathered, but it just didn't seem as visual. So when I did this one, I just took only a scouring pad and just kind of lightly went over the jacket. I didn't go crazy over the entire thing. Just some light weathering, and anything else I plan to be natural. I did not do the water cold shower treatment to this, which is where you completely soak the jacket and put it on, like scrunch up the sleeves. So I'm happy with how the sleeve length right now. If I were to get this wet and squish up those sleeves, it would probably sit too high. So I'm not going to do that on this jacket. I did wet the leather right here and fold it over with clothespins, just so the leather would take that shape, because there's some scenes in Raiders where you see this part of the jacket folded over like that. So I wanted that effect on there. I think the hardware on these is black in Raiders, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But I just love this jacket. I think it's great. I think it's an awesome option for a Raiders jacket if that's what you're looking for. A ton of people go for Wested, and obviously Wested made the original Raiders jacket, and it is a phenomenal jacket. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't go with Wested, but I'm saying this is a great option, and the leather quality is fantastic. It looks great. If the ribbiness is a really big concern to you, then you might look at Steel & Jones or another option, but it does have texture. The leather does have some visual interest to the grain. It does have striations, but not the ribbiness, so that'll be one thing to keep in mind if that's what you're looking for. But if you're fine with just the striations and this texture, then I think it's a great Raiders jacket, and I'm probably not going to pursue any other Raiders jacket after this one. I'm happy with using this as my main Raiders jacket. If I get any jackets in the future, it'll probably just be like Last Crusade and Dial of Destiny. One final note on this jacket that I would like to touch on is that I feel like the Todds Costumes or Coyles jacket is a slept-on option. It's got the one inside pocket here. But I feel like a lot of people sleep on this jacket. I'm not really sure why. I kind of have a theory that I wonder if Todds Costumes is kind of hurting themselves with the name. This is all my own personal speculation, so I wouldn't look into it much beyond that. But when you have the word costume in your name, then people might look at your merchandise or product as more of a cheaper, like costume quality item and choose to go to places like Wested Leather, US Wings, Kelso, Steel & Jones for their jacket options, because sometimes if the word costume is in your name, then it might, I could see how that could potentially be off-putting. Be like, I don't know that I want to buy from a place with a costume in their name, because you were probably looking for an actual good quality jacket, and this is that. It is a phenomenal jacket. It holds up well. The one I had when I was 15 lasted for a very long time until it was stolen. It wears well. The leather quality is fantastic. I like the liner. One thing, there's Harrison doing a promo shot for Raiders, and it's an all white background. He's just slinging the whip, and the jacket is kind of flipped open where you could see the liner, and the color match I think is just great to the inside liner. Super awesome jacket. If you're in the market for a Raiders jacket, I highly recommend checking out the Coyles Todds Costume jacket. I will include a link to Todds Costumes in my description if you want to check it out. Just a great jacket. Go check it out. It's definitely worth considering, and it's my go-to jacket. It's my main jacket that I wear, even just casually. Highly recommend it. That's it for this video. I just wanted to go over the Todds Costume jacket, Coyles jacket, and give it a shout out. Talk about how pleased I am with it. and that is definitely worth looking into. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.